What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. So we have made it to Friday, you guys. Woo woo. Yes, let's give ourselves a pat on the back. Yes. So you guys, today, I have a special guest co-host, you guys, who will be joining me today, you guys. So return back to my podcast, you guys, as my guest co-host is a 29-year-old second grade educator who resides from New Jersey, but is currently living in the DMV area. He is a UMES in Southborough alumni and has aspirations of starting his own business and really giving back to his community. So everyone, please welcome back on to my show, Mr. Nick Hammond.
How you doing, man?
Hello. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me on today.
Of course.
Yes, so let's hop right into it. So we are going to be discussing why do Black teachers, why are they leaving the education profession? So right before we get started here, I want to hear from you. Why do you think that so many of our Black educators, they are just leaving the profession? What's your take on it?
I would say maybe the lack of representation. I know that depending on what area you're in, what district you're in, it may be full with a lot of Caucasian teachers. So I know that representation really means a lot when, we're teaching children. I also think that African Americans may feel not as valued when they're in a space with the whole, another culture. So for example, I taught in Philadelphia for a couple of years, and if I'm being honest, I always felt like second fiddle to a white woman. I was always like the assistant, or I was the reading teacher, and then I never had my creativity over the classroom. I would be like that person that if they had to go to the bathroom, they were calling me, asking me if I can hop into the classroom, or I wanted to decorate the room a certain type of way, and I couldn't because it wasn't my room. I had like a cart and everything, and I would use that cart, and I would have to go into everybody's classroom. So I know that I'm thankful that I did go through that because it made me a better educator, it made me a better person. However, I can see how that can make anyone feel devalued, or make you feel like you're not welcome to be at that school. So I think it's really important for African Americans to be teachers, especially males, because we do make up such a low percentage of teachers. So I know that the representation means a lot, and I think that when people don't feel as welcomed, or they don't feel as valued, they may decide to take their talents elsewhere and maybe even go to a different profession.
Right, I totally agree with you on that. Yes, so let's hop right into the toll that microaggression take on why our Black teachers they're leaving the profession. So microaggressions, they are not always about race, but sometimes they are by gender or by their nationality. Now, they are small interpersonal slights between and among people. Now, for example, you have Black educators. They feel that their contributions, they are not very acknowledged enough. And it's why. So, and get this here, about 97, I found this out, 97% of all teachers who were surveyed on this study, they said that they have experienced some form of racial aggression on a regular basis. So, what's your take on this here on microaggressions?
What I've learned is, those microaggressions can really make or break someone's teaching career, in their
Yeah,
experience. I know, again, I've been through it as well. Again, kind of being second fiddle to like a white person, or even having like a white supervisor, and a lot of times I had to sit back and be like, am I her child? And I know that I went through that a few times with a particular supervisor that I had, and I think that it can really, again, just steer someone away. And I think that it's all about delivery when you're you're speaking to someone. Also, I know that for educators, it's really important that we receive that feedback when we are
mhm,
educating our children, because that feedback will help us grow and elevate in more ways than none. So I know that I know when it comes to even giving teachers feedback, it's all about the exact approach that you go about it when you are giving someone the feedback. It's all about the delivery again. It's all about I always believe in a glow and a grow whenever you're giving someone feedback. You know what they did really good and what they could work on. I think that a lot of times too, you want to make it tailored to the person, and make it feel welcoming and accepting when you're giving them feedback, and you
mhm.
don't feel like you're less than the supervisor because you didn't do something right, or maybe you missed a word, or maybe the content wasn't clear enough. So I'm wholeheartedly a firm believer in, again, just giving that feedback and giving that criticism, but criticism that will help you grow instead of make you feel like you're not worthy.
Yeah, agree with you on that. Now, I want to hear your take on this here. Is math racist? Now, let me get into this here. Math is often falsely characterized as culture free, yet, despite the appearance of neutrality, math instruction is couched within a system that sends signals that math and science are the domain of white men. Now, I found this out. A study says that the mathematics and science teachers, they will say this here, but 2 plus 2 equals 4 all over the world in all cultures. So why do we have to always include culture and race? And then another person says, but mathematics is a living, breathing human endeavor. So there is culture that infuse in us. So what's your take on this here of some white educators are saying this here that we always include culture and race into this?
Um, Honestly, I agree. I think that a lot of people, when they think about math, they think about a white man, a white woman, or even
Mhm.
Chinese people. They always say they're really good at math, and we're always told like a lot of black people are not really good at math, so on and so on forth.
Right.
So I think that's really important for now and the generations, um, going forward, that we emphasize that it doesn't matter what culture you are, it doesn't matter what you look like. Math can be difficult. However, math is not impossible to learn. It's all about how you tailor it. For example, if you're giving a student 7+9 problem, and they may get confused, but you want to kind of tailor it in and make it fun. I had 7 bag of chips, and then my brother, he ate 9 bag of chips. Like you kind of want to make it cultural and make it relatable so students can kind of like paint a picture of that. Um, I know that when I was a child, and to this day, math has been my least favorite subject. Never been good at it. But ironically, math is my favorite subject to teach.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching second graders right now, and I just really enjoy teaching math to students. And it amazes me all the time when I see the data that I'm able to produce for my students. And I'm like, I am a good math teacher.
Yeah.
But it's good to see, because again, I know how I was taught math, and I know that I struggled tremendously when it came to math. But I
Mhm.
think that I think that math gave me some type of anxiety growing up. I think that word problems were always pretty difficult. I think that just the science of it. Like even if you're reading a word problem and Um, it may have 76, but it's actually written as 76. You know, that might have confused me back when I was a child. So I know that what I like doing now is making kids love math, because I know that I didn't love math growing up. So again, I want my students to be better than me. I want my students to learn different than me, and I want them to realize that it doesn't matter again what kind of race you are, what culture you are. You can be just as good as math as a white person, or an Indian person, or a Chinese person, because they're always seen as like the more superior ones that know. So I want to definitely do that for my students going forward.
Exactly, exactly. Yes. So I want to get into this here with you, and I don't understand why they portray Black educators this here, which is discipline. So Black teachers also experience burnout because they are often expected to take on additional responsibility due to their perceived connection with their students of color. So why do you think they they see us as the disciplinarian, and they cannot do the work themselves? They always have to come to us and let us fix the problem for them. I just don't understand that. Basically, can you answer that for me? Because that just makes no sense. Why they always have to come to us to solve their problems? It makes no sense to me.
Honestly, I wish I could give you that answer, because to this day I don't know. And I'm gonna always go back to my old school. Um, I was working at a school where I was the only black male educator.
Mhm.
However, there were black males inside the school. However, they were only for deans of behavior. Um, so I don't think that students took them seriously as being teachers, because they weren't. You know, they were just for disciplinary issues, or if a kid is acting out, they can go with the dean, and then they'll come back to the classroom. So again, for the generation now and going forward, I want that mold to be broken, and to know that black people should not be used as a disciplinary, um, and someone that and it deals with behavior. You know, um, I think that they automatically place black men in these roles, because they know that, you know, kids will listen, right? And kids will
Right.
listen, they will. I think that, like, look at on the reverse side. Say if you had a white dean and a black teacher, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Um, but again, I want, for going forward, it's for black people to not just be seen as the one that's the enforcer for the behavior. I want for black teachers to be known as the ones that are giving the education and making an impact for years to come, because that's all education is about. It's about making an impact, and it's an everlasting impact. I think that a teacher's job is never done, and
Right.
the mark that we make will always be around. You know, I think back to when I was a kid. I still remember some of my elementary school teachers. They might have forgot about me because that was such a long time ago, you know. But I truly feel like a teacher's mark is forever. A teacher's job is never done. Um, so I want for schools, and I want for, you know, different programs to not just place black people inside a disciplinary position, because we're worth a lot more than that.
Yes, absolutely, we sure are. Now, I don't know if you heard about this today, actually, of what happened to a 20-year old black man, Dwight Wright. A black man was. I don't understand, like, what is it going to take for them to realize that this is not okay? Like, they can't keep on doing this. I just don't. And then they said that, I was reading the reports that saying that it was like accidentally, like they didn't know when they was pulling out it was supposed to be a taser, but instead it was a gun. That just makes, what's your take on all this? How can we be better by this? I just don't. I'm at this point. I'm just done
I
because I
mean,
keep seeing this. Sorry, go ahead.
you know, it baffles me because black people are so beautiful. Black
Right.
people are strong, are powerful. I mean, look at sports. Look at music. Look at everything. We are at the top of the tier. Like you have basketball, football, you have music, you have fashion. Honestly, we are the top people. I think that black people intimidate white people. I don't know why, um, but I also think that the uh, the killings and the police. I think that it goes down to how someone was raised. People were raised in a different type of generation, and we're seen as the more violent people. It's interesting because I think maybe a few months ago, I saw the tweet and it was like Google a um, Google a black man, like black teens.
Mhm.
I googled it and it was all mug shots that popped up, right? But then you Google a white teenager and you see all these kids smiling, and it's like, wow, that's what society has painted out to be. So I know for myself, I have to go harder every single day to make my mark. And I'm just so blessed at where I live right now. I live in the DMV area. I'm so blessed that my school has no racism whatsoever. I have a lot of black male teachers, and there is some white teachers as well. But I can sense the how genuine they are, how they love our children. But then you go some places, and again, it depends on where you are. Where race is really a problem, and you know, I've experienced racism maybe like once in my life, and it wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't a good feeling at all because I don't think I look intimidated at all. And especially I uh, I thrive myself on being great. So it's just a shame that black people are automatically attacked, and it's a shame to see. So earlier today, I watched something on Netflix, and I'll tell you the name of it. It's called Two Distant Strangers. And if anybody has the time, go check it out. It's like 30 minutes long, and I'm not gonna spoil it. However, it's such a powerful film, and it's so short, but it just goes to show how black people are constantly always just discriminated against or attacked, spoke so low of, but then you know, black people are, again, we're so talented. We are beautiful inside and out. And honestly, I don't think that will ever stop as far as what these cops are doing. I don't think that will ever stop because some people really enforce that in their families. I know that growing up, my mom, my dad always emphasized on me not to be racist, not to be judgmental, not to discriminate people based on how they look, based on if they have a disability or not. So I know that I want people to have the same mentality as well. But again, I think it starts at home. It starts how you were raised as a child.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you on that because I feel, and this is just me here, and I wish I could just, like get this feeling, this fear out of me. But every time that I leave my home, I'm like literally afraid. I'm like scared for my life because I am thinking that someone is actually watching me, someone's actually recording me, someone is actually, seeing what I'm doing, and they are just waiting at the right moment of time to come catch up to me and do whatever.
Yeah,
And that's like my fear. I wish I could just, just get rid of this, but I can't. This is how black men have to live, sadly. It just is, and
yeah,
I just hate that feeling.
it is. It's really sad, and we should never have to leave our homes and be in fear. Or hell, even
Yeah,
be at home and feel like
right.
someone is coming to get us. But what helps me when I worry about things too much is prayer, honestly. And I know that
Yes.
I'm here for a long time, and again, when I'm here, I want to make a strong impact. And we're gonna be talked about. We're gonna be hated forever. So we just gotta continuously work hard and break the barrier and break the mold and go above and beyond to do the things that make us happy and take a stand and notice that like we are the best, and we're like as black people, black individuals. Again, we're going to continue being those role models for the next generation. And so, for me being a teacher, it's so important for me to tell my babies that you can be anything you want to be. I tell my students you're black kings, black queens, and give them that positive affirmation and that feel good words to know that it doesn't matter what you see on TV right now. It's not good. However, know that not all white people are bad people.
Yeah.
Not. But again, you do have a large percentage that are. So again, while my students are with me, I want to let them know that they are strong and they are powerful, and they no goal is too big for them to achieve.
So thank you so much for joining me on today. I really appreciate you for returning back to my show. So thank you. So where can my listeners, again, and for the new ones, where can they follow you onto your social media platforms?
Well, hey everybody, my name is Nick Hammond, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr_Big Dreams. But it's a 3 for the E. So I do want to change my name. I have had it for years, but it's been like that since college, so it's it's not going away.
All right. So thank you again, and I will catch you very soon. So you take care of yourself.
All right, chat soon. All right, have a good one.
Yes. So until then, you guys take care of yourself and be blessed.